Hello viewers, I welcome you all for my Specialty of Tech channel. Today we are going to talk about JavaScript web resources. In our previous video we have seen what actually are the web resources. We talked about three different scenarios for the understanding of the beginners so that we can have a sound clarification that why web resources are used for, so that we may proceed further. In this video, we are going to talk about the JavaScript web resources, which are probably the most common and important type of web resources that you will be using in your Microsoft Dynamics CRM in your professional life. First of all, application of JavaScript in CRM. Form event programming. It means that it is used to handle any client-side behavior, such as what happens when a user opens a form, changes some data, or moves through tabs, etc. Okay, so it means that in client side handling of any event, the form event programming is used as JavaScript, can be used for that purpose. Similarly, to achieve such client side interaction, you will be writing JavaScript code and adding it as a JavaScript, that is JScript Web Resource in CRM. So any for client side interaction or event, you will write the code. We will also write the one and in our upcoming video as well for your understanding. Now, how the JavaScript code which you will write has to use Dynamics CRM, that is XRM.page model, whereas you know that in the standard JavaScripting you use JavaScript DOM, but for specific Dynamics CRM you are going to use XRM.page model. Using XRM.page model is Microsoft ways of code, which ensures that any code you write using this model will be compatible with any future versions of CRM, because commonly you need to import or export different type of unmanaged solutions in your different CRM environments. So that why it is always recommended and important that Microsoft is using this way of coding, that you use the XRM.page model. Now, applications of JavaScript. Web resources in JavaScript is used in form event programming, such as open forms, views, and dialogues with a unique URL, using OData and SOAP endpoints to interact with web services, and referencing JavaScript code inside other web resources such as HTML web resources. Okay, now the application of JavaScript in CRM. You may use JavaScript in CRM for ribbon customizations. For example, in addition to use it, you can use it for display, hide ribbon buttons based on some logics, enable disable ribbon buttons based on some logics, and handle what happens when you click a certain ribbon button. Okay, now we are going to design a simple JavaScript file. Before that, it is very important to understand how XRM.page object model behaves. This is a model of XRM.page model in which there are three parts, that is context, data, and user interface. In it provides methods to retrieve context specific information such as organization details, logged in user details, or parameters that were passed to the form in a query string. That is security roles as well, the type of access permissions for that user, and different types of such behaviors are passed to the context part. Okay. The next part is data part. In data part, it provides access to the entity data and methods to manage the data in the form as well as in the business process flow control. It has different values, that is entity, process, stages, attributes, controls, and steps. They all are covered in the data portion. The next part is user interface. You know that there are different type of processes, controls, navigations, form selectors, tabs, sections, controls, items, which contain so the user interface contains methods to retrieve information about the user interface, in addition to collection for several subcomponents of the form, that are tabs, section, controls, items, etc. So we have talked about these three parts, that were context, data, and user interface, that wholly cover the XRM.page object model. Now, the context provides methods to retrieve context specific information. We have already studied that, the data and UI. Now, the objects are entity, provide methods to retrieve record information. Save method, collection attributes. Process is the method to retrieve properties of business process flow, and navigation is to provide access to navigation item using items collection. Form selector use items collect to access available forms to the user. Stages is the different processes has a collection of stages that can be accessed using get stages method of process. You will use the get stages method in retrieving the stages per, per related to any process. Similarly, you will use get step method in which a stage comprise of steps. So it comes in a hierarchical model. First of all, process. In process, there are different types of stages, and in each stage, there are different types of steps. So you can gather or acquire or access these by using the get command, that is get stages or get steps. Attributes. Attributes are provide access to entity attributes available on the form. Control, UI.control, attribute.control, section.controls. These are three types of methods, that is UI.control that provide access to each control present on the form. Attribute.control provide access to all the controls within an attribute, and section.controls provide access to all the controls within a section. So in UI, it gives control to the form, whereas in a form there are attributes, and in an attributes are divided into different sections. Items are provide access to all the navigation items on a form. Tabs provide access to all the tabs on a form, and section provide access to all the sections on a form. There are different supported events in form programming of XRM.page model, that is on load, on save, on change, tab state change, on ready state complete, pre-search, business process flow controls. So these are different type of supported events in form programming. Whenever in future we will do the form programming using XRM.page, we will develop different type of web resources in JavaScripting web resources files. In that we will use these different type of events. That is in a this was a short demonstration about JavaScripting web resources, because these terminologies were required to be very clear to all of you as beginners or intermediate level CRM developers, so that we may have a better idea in upcoming videos where we are going to put some validation on the contact form. We will see that if the user selects his her preferred method as email, then the email field should become mandatory, and similarly for other fields of phone and fax. First of all, we are going to cover this part in a contact form, and practical portion of this video of this demonstration will be in my next video. I thank you all for this short demonstration or theoretical part understanding, and guys, subscribe my channel who are my new visitors so that you enjoy watching more videos. I thank you all.